Hi guys, welcome back to Office Hours at iZooto. Today we have with us Deepankar Biswas slash Deep Biswas. Deep, what do you prefer generally? Do you prefer Deepankar, Deep? What's your nickname?
Yeah, it is. Deeps is a little better and a little easy to remember.
Deep. Okay, all right. So today we have with us Deep, who's a founder and CEO at Botman. Uh, I'll let him talk about Botman first. Right? Deep, why don't you introduce yourself
Sure.
and the product as well? Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys. Hi. My name is Deeps Dipankar, and I'm the co-founder CEO for Botman. So what we do is essentially uh, detect ad fraud, figure out viewability, and find out brand safety for publishers, advertisers, ad networks. So the whole idea in terms of what we do is we are a SaaS platform, is to make it easy for anybody who is spending money to buy media or is involved in the supply chain of media to his portal or to his website, to his app, to figure out the kind of traffic quality he's getting, and are there any sources which are misusing or abusing by sending false traffic, fraud traffic to him, and how can he figure out and how can he mitigate it. So, I mean, essentially, if you know, ad fraud is essentially in the online advertising space, falsification of traffic through variety of fraud sources, sending it to you for financial gain.
Right. All right.
I mean,
So,
yeah,
right. So the ad fraud is a very misunderstood topic or an area, right? In fact, everybody wants to believe that ad fraud is not impacting them. It's like coronavirus. It's like they have it, I don't have it,
yeah, yeah.
right? And yet it's a problem that eventually impacts everybody in the ecosystem, right? Publishers, DSPs, SSPs, ad networks, advertisers, right? And when it happens, everybody in the value chain loses money, right? And money which is hard earned dollars, money which was realized, accounted, invoiced, booked, and then somebody will pull a rabbit out of the hat and say we will deduct 15% because of fraud, right? That kind of stuff just happens all the time. Like money literally evaporates overnight. People lose time. People lose massive opportunity, right? And yet this is not understood enough in the industry, or not enough is being done about it. What do you think, before we even talk about fraud in general, right? Why do you think this is so ignored or it's not given its due attention as of now?
Yeah, I think, see, it's a classic cat and mouse game, as I call it. And so the whole thing about ad fraud is today there is a lot of incentivization of the publishers who have skin in the game. So at one point, a publisher has got a responsibility of getting more and more visitors, more and more traffic to his content. It could be video, it could be text, it could be any type of content, because he has got ad slots which have been given out to direct advertisers or intermediaries, exchanges, Google, DBM, wherever it is. His whole idea is to make money out of it. More traffic comes, more revenue he makes through CPM, CPC, whichever medium. Now, how does he do that? All the publishers typically do not have a lot of organic traffic coming in. Now he engages affiliates, direct affiliates, indirect affiliates, agencies to buy media and get onto his portal or get onto his content and consume it, and then show that report back to the advertisers that, hey, this is how, this is the kind of traffic I'm getting, pay me a little more CPM or pay me a little more CPC for the traffic I'm getting it to you. Now, there is a slight skin in the game here. If he hands over and he wants a larger arbitrage out of this, so he will buy at a lower price and sell at a higher price. How can you do that? The only way you can do that is you buy cheaper traffic and sell at a higher price. The moment you buy cheaper traffic, I mean, traffic cannot come for so cheap. You want people coming from Times of India, you want people coming from great portals, but you cannot do it
Hold you
without
there
that.
for a minute. You use the word arbitrage here, and you explain that
Yeah.
as buying it cheaper from this point and selling it at a higher cost at this to this source.
Right. Right. So
Huh.
as an example, you can end up buying traffic at say a dollar CPM
Okay.
on from your supply sources. It could be direct affiliates,
Sure.
and you're selling at say $5 CPM on the other side.
All
So
right.
you end up making around $4 CPM on this traffic.
Got it. Perfect.
More arbitrage you make, that's your business.
Got it.
How will you do that? So there is certain element of ethics also involved in it. Some of the publishers make sure that they are getting the best traffic, but a lot of them hand it over to agencies who actually subcontract it to affiliates, and they engage bots, they engage server-side scripting, they engage a lot of other mechanisms to make sure they send you a lot of traffic. And suddenly you will see a burst of traffic coming on your portal, and you are very happy. Google Analytics is reporting 100 on 100. Page views are amazing. Time on site is brilliant, and you think I've nailed it. You go to the ad ops guys and say, hey, this is the traffic I'm getting. Sell it at a higher price. You are making money. So why would you so be keen to stop this traffic? So there is a little bit of skin in the game. People are
Right.
knowingly ignorant in some cases, and but I see a difference in terms of the geography here.
Okay.
I see a lot of consciousness when it comes to the US or Europe. They're a little more conscious about this fact, and they do not want this, because at the end of it, there are chargebacks which happen for them.
Correct.
But in Asia, I am seeing the element of ignorance is a little higher than what it's supposed to. I mean, it should not be actually.
Got it. So you mentioned a very an important word there. Google Analytics is happy.
Yeah.
So you say that even sophisticated tracking platforms like Google Analytics are not able to detect bot traffic today?
All right. So Google Analytics has a small checkbox if you use Google Analytics to eliminate bot traffic. It's a very small checkbox which is found after 2 or 3 steps of reporting on the left-hand side. You have to figure it out.
Okay.
Even if you enable that, 70% of the bots can creep through and make a recording on your by affiliate, by acquisition tab, and you can clearly see it that it's not able to find it.
Wow. Okay. So you're saying Google Analytics has not played catch up with the bot with the bot so far. Is that right?
Yes, and they explicitly, very clearly do not claim it also. So there's a very thin line in saying that they don't do it. I mean, they really don't do it, but they don't say that they don't do it.
Got it. Interesting. Okay. So the for starters, right, let's just sort of break down the word ad fraud, right? What does it mean? Like in absolute simple words, what is ad fraud, right? And why is it important to manage ad fraud?
Okay. So ad fraud, if you blow it up, advertising fraud happens primarily in 2 forms. One is called a GIVT, and the other is called a SIVT. I mean, I have a slide. If you want me to, I can take that through the slides as well.
Yeah, sure. It's a great idea. I think you should be able to see to share your screen as well.
Yes. One. Give me a second. I'll just share the screen. I'll see the screen, right?
Yes, I can see your screen. Yeah, this looks good. I like Tom and Jerry.
See the screen.
Yeah.
So that's what is ad fraud. All right. So it's a classic game of cat and mouse, as I said. I'll take you through a rough estimate of numbers if you see. So the estimated cost of digital ad fraud in the US, if you look at this, was at least comfortably more than 10% of their spend, which is a rough estimate we are anticipating in 2021. And this is, I would say this is half of the actual number which is happening.
Okay.
So I'll quickly take you through what is ad fraud, the different types of fraud, the methods, and we can actually look at a couple of cases.
Sure.
And then I'll give you an example of fake sites and fake apps.
Sure. Super. Yeah.
So as I mentioned, it essentially to defraud digital advertising for financial gain. I mean, the scammers often use bots to carry out fraud, but there are actually many number of ways. And that's where ad fraud is separated into 2 types of fraud, which is globally recognized and people work towards it. So the first one is called GIVT. This is general invalid traffic.
Deep, just 1 second. Your voice is breaking up a bit. Do you mind turning off the video for a second?
Sure.
We might just want to be maximizing the internet bandwidth. Perfect. And you think you can also hit the present mode so that we'll have a full screen view of this. Super. Yeah. Perfect. Yes. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So GIVT is general invalid traffic defined by the MRC. MRC is Media Rating Council. So Media Rating Council essentially certifies and accredits fraud verification companies by saying that they are detecting this type of traffic. This is a broad classification they have made. Now, this is essentially routine filtration. You can use IP lists, domain lists, different type of blacklists, and verify the incoming traffic against those lists. And if it falls through it, you say that, hey, this is fraud.
Perfect.
So it could be data center traffic, headers and stuff. Then you have the different one, which is the sophisticated invalid traffic, in which the bots become slightly more intelligent and they try to mimic the user behavior when they come to your portal. So they'll make a pattern of clicks properly. It is through adware, malware. They'll represent their identity in a false way. They'll say that I'm coming from Times of India or YouTube, but I'm not. They'll change their user agents. They'll falsify the location data, use proxies to come, use residential IPs to come. So they'll hide behind a lot of residential IPs and come. So this is a little more sophisticated invalid traffic, which you need to analyze. Typical methods, I've put a few methods here. One is click spam, pure bot traffic, domain spoofing, cookie stuffing or affiliate fraud, very important for e-commerce portals, ad stacking, conversion frauds. Now I'll take you through a couple of cases, as I said, that will clarify a little bit more. So first case is, take a case of OTT Publisher, say Z5 or Amazon Prime or Netflix. Now the problem of this publisher is to pre-roll ads before every video or in the middle of it, and that's how he's making a lot of money. They want more and more people to consume this content, which is a fair ask from their perspective. Now what they do is, some of them get a lot of organic traffic, so they don't need to buy, but a larger portion of them needs more traffic. So they buy media through agencies and affiliates on different types of pricing models. It could be a unique visitor model, per click, video views, different types of models. So what is wrong here? See, the advertisers are sitting inside every video.
Correct.
And they are paying quite a bit of money to these guys.
Right.
Now, what would the scamsters do? They will do ad stacking, invisible ads, pop sources for impression bots. So they'll generate a lot of impressions. For example, imagine when you open a website and suddenly a small pop-up opens at the right-hand top bottom, either of the ends of your screen, and opens up, runs a Netflix video there, and then automatically shuts down.
Right. That happens. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Another scenario, you go to a portal, suddenly 2 more tabs open up.
Yeah. That's really irritating stuff. Yeah.
And they may open up a autoplay video.
Autoplay is the
what
worst.
Are they doing? They are generating more and more impressions using the worst. Yeah. And the impressions are getting recorded there. That guy is now liable to pay, and this is how impression bots are making money. Now, behavioral bots who can mimic the user behavior by clicking on the video player itself. So now the advertiser will say, hey, you run my video for about 30 seconds, then only I'll pay you this much. He's trying to make it a more performance-centric play. Now, these bots will actually go and click on the video player link, play button.
Correct.
And they will make the video run for 30 seconds and then click on the stop button or a seek button or pause or whatever.
Sure.
Now, download bots who will come and try to download the videos. So we have a case study on this. We caught a bot, download bot in Viacom team.
Wow.
So there were about 400,000 downloads happening every day.
Whoa, that's insane, right?
Yeah, that's insane. And you have data center bots, which is essentially scripts running into different servers and just coming in increasing clicks. So for a OTT publisher who is publishing video content, he is open to these kind of things the moment he engages with affiliates. So I'm not saying all the affiliates are bad, but yeah, there are some who actually abuse the system.
Correct. Okay, perfect.
If I take another case, this is a typical e-commerce portal where again he is buying media. He has to increase his sales, so he's buying media through for a conversion basis. He tries to make it a little strict that hey, I'll pay only on conversion. Now again, what is wrong here? The method typically employed here is stuff the cookies.
Correct.
Now the way it will happen is the similar method which I showed, one by one pixel will open up on your when you are browsing a website. A one by one pixel will open up behind the screen. You don't even know. Okay. And that one by one pixel is running in an iframe. It will actually call the e-commerce portal, say Flipkart. And the moment you call Flipkart, Flipkart deposits a cookie in your browser.
Correct.
And the cookie sits in your browser. It is activated for 30 days. In these 30 days, if you make a sale, the credit comes to this affiliate.
Correct.
Now, this guy, what he has done is he has initiated a click to Flipkart using his affiliate code and got a cookie in your browser. But since it was a one by one pixel, you never saw it.
Right.
But later on, at any point of time, the next 30 days, if you go to Flipkart and make a purchase, the money goes to that guy. But you actually went organic.
Got it. Yeah.
And so this is a case of a 1:1 case. Now, all these cookies are typically syndicated from your browser the moment you are on the internet. And these cookies are deposited into multiple browsers. So anyone who makes an organic sale, the credit goes to the affiliate. Okay. So suddenly the e-commerce vendor would see that his affiliate payouts are increasing and the organic traffic is decreasing.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So, and is this still happening? I mean, I remember for a fact that cookie stuffing,
You're not able to hear you.
Hello? Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so I remember eBay had to pay,
yes.
There was a massive fraud on eBay a few years back. And then eBay came in eBay was very hard on the affiliates it was working with, right? And there was a massive chargeback which was issued, if I'm not wrong, right? But is this still happening? That's my question right now.
Yeah. Till the first party cookies, the concept of first party cookie remains. This is happening today also. Now, in addition to that, you have the stolen credit cards and the fintech fraud also, which also happens by using the standard cards which are stolen. But from an ad fraud perspective, cookie stuffing is the predominant way today still.
Got it. Interesting. Yeah. Very. I thought these were days of the past, but this is the fact that this is still happening is incredible. Right. By the way, guys, if you have any questions regarding fraud, ad fraud, anything around bot traffic, feel free to putting your questions in the chat window, right? And Deepankar will jump on it. We already had the first question with us, but Deepankar, why don't you go ahead and sort of wrap up the presentation at least?
Yeah. Slides, I'll just go through them. Yeah, so a good just typically is to have a simple monitoring method for the real traffic quality they are getting. They can actually use it for their ad placement where they go to buy media. So a simple monitor is required at their end. I mean, that is something which every publisher should do. Typically, they are not even aware on the kind of suspect traffic they get.
Interesting. Okay.
And I'll give you some few examples of fake sites and fake apps. If you look at this, if you look at the fake sites, look at the name of the site. They are all generated through a script, or they are booked through a script.
Right.
Fake sites, fake apps, and I mean, when we scan these clicks, we are actually seeing this kind of names coming in, and the moment you go back and try to get a status from them, they don't exist.
So you're saying that these websites will be available in the referrer or as a referrer source, right?
Yes. This is, I mean, for GIVT, I mean, amateur bots would probably use it directly.
Okay.
But if somebody is spoofing it, you may not get it directly, but indirectly, the moment you find it, they are not available. So a lot of this is being used, and this is crazy, the kind of fraud which typically people are getting. So yeah, this is what I had.
Interesting, yes.
So you guys can email me at deeps@botman.ninja or at Twitter, ninja_botman.
Awesome. So Deep, I had a few more questions for you, right?
Sure.
So obviously, this impacts both publishers and advertisers as well, right? Because bot traffic would hit publishers, bot traffic would click on ads, bot traffic would create fake revenue for publishers, and at some point they will get a charge back, right? So at what scale does this become? Should publishers start looking at this problem seriously?
See, if the revenue they are making from the ad revenue which they are making constitutes a significant portion of the revenue and the monthly numbers, then I think they should definitely look at it. But if someone is getting say 100,000 visits a month on his website, then probably he's he need not worry about it, because that's not a scale at which fraudsters would be interested to come to his portal. He may get a lot of crawlers coming in, but actual bots, no.
Right. Okay. So you're saying you need to sort of be at least, let's say, north of 500,000 traffic for you to sort of really invest in diagnosing for this problem in the first place.
Correct. That could be a fair ask.
Be fair. Okay. Interesting. Right. And who should be sort of solving this problem first? Should it be publishers? Should it be advertisers? Or should it be ad networks? Or should it be all three?
See, ideally, all three of them should have their monitors switched on. But what happens is, otherwise, it's always a blame game with respect to the traffic, right? The entire funnel. Advertisers are now putting up a gatekeeper mandatorily. Okay. That I do not want this, and I will do a chargeback. Now he cannot do a chargeback unless he has a anti-fraud tool with him. The networks are getting scammed because they sit in the middle on both the sides. They also get a chargeback. Their revenues, they live on arbitrage, so they drastically get impacted. Publishers is one entity which is working on it in an optional way right now, because they are the guys who are giving traffic, so they don't want to be scanned so much. But if a publisher takes the role of buying traffic, then he must, because if he gets blacklisted in any of the lists, global blacklists, then automatically all the fraud verification vendors are going to blacklist him, and his traffic won't be recognized somewhere else. So he'll get hurt somewhere else. So he needs to be aware to not get hurt.
Yeah, because I'm sure the last thing Comscore wants on their list is a publisher which has bought traffic, right?
Yes.
Comscore would never sort of want to rate those publishers, and then once Comscore blacklists you, you're pretty much gone from every potential agency's
radar.
No media planner will ever touch you, right? With the barge pole also. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah. So and then so in this case, right? So you're saying that publishers, but again, if they're only they're buying traffic, which again, by the way, a lot of publishers do, right? A lot of publishers do this to sort of improve their Comscore rankings and improve their visibility in agencies and so on, right? So so they should sort of also definitely have this as a consideration.
Yeah, and also as you mentioned, Comscore. Typically, these Comscore reports are out like about 45 days, 60 days. They get the report for the month previous to that.
Right.
In order to raise your scoring in Comscore, you should be aware of your traffic quality. Sure. So it's consequentially back on the publisher who is not even buying media also.
Okay.
So being aware of your traffic quality and making sure that at any point in time, 70 to 80% is good for me, then that is something which helps you in building a Comscore ranking down the line.
Got it. Okay. So we'll now go ahead and sort of take the two questions which we have right now with us. Deep, in fact, actually, you can now stop the screen share. That's okay. We'll have them see us, see our faces.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So the first question is from Venkat. Venkat is asking, how do affiliates stuff my browser with cookies. Okay. Deep. You
Yeah,
take
yeah.
that?
So, all right. So the way it happens is that, yeah, I'm taking that. So the way it happens is when you become an affiliate with Flipkart or Amazon, then in your affiliate panel within Flipkart, you get the banners and or the links which you should advertise on your interfaces, and the way a Flipkart or an Amazon would recognize you is through an affiliate code.
Right.
And that code is embedded in the link which they give it to you.
Correct.
Now, and for every click which goes from a user to Flipkart, how to recognize that the next 30-day sale is attributed back to the same user or the affiliate is through the means of a cookie, which Flipkart would deposit in your browser.
Correct.
So the moment a click is generated back to Flipkart, in return, their cookie will be deposited into your system. And that the cookie has a unique identification with respect to the affiliate code. So whenever a next a purchase will happen through that affiliate, it will get attributed in their affiliate panel, and Flipkart will award you say 10% of that product price or 5% of the product price.
Right. Yeah. Perfect. And then the way affiliate would sort of stuff at the end user's browser with multiple cookies is that they would fire multiple of these affiliate codes or affiliate iframes on the publisher side.
On your on your publisher side. So so affiliates is essentially generating multiple pop-ups which are invisible. They could be visible. They could be very, very minuscule visible. And the moment they do that, essentially the process of click has got initiated and a cookie has got deposited.
Correct. Perfect. And now we have a question which will help you, put together a nice sales dribble to your answer, which is how are we solving the problem? And
which one?
This is Vinay asking about how are we solving this problem of ad fraud? Where should we put the ad?
Okay. The ad optimization part. All right.
Yes.
So see, the way it happens is typically the ad banners can be rendered through a JavaScript, or they can be controlled through a JavaScript. So when typically you take an ad banner from an ad network, even if DBM or any other ad network also, you can get a JavaScript container, and when the page loads, that container will fire up a banner and it will show it in real time. Now, this container, since it has the control of showing the banner, it can work with a fraud verification tool to understand whether this view is fraudulent or not. And if the view is fraudulent, do not show the banner. Instead, show, you can take multiple actions. You can redirect, show a captcha thing. You can choose not to show that banner. You can show some other banner, or you can you can prompt the user to a certain message. If you remember in the Corona crisis right now, multiple websites, if you might have gone, you may have seen leaderboard banners with blue clouds, a blue background and white clouds on that.
Okay.
So this was double verify gone wrong for a certain portion of time. So the moment their fraud verification tool fires up and they detect that they think that this is fraudulent, they do not show the ad banner, they show their own banner.
Okay.
Which is a blue screen with white clouds. And it, I think, went wrong for a couple of days, and all over the internet, double verify banners were there. Well, classic case of ad optimization.
Right. So basically people are trying to err on the side of caution rather than being aggressive. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Vinay has a second question. Can ad optimization be not solved with techniques such as linear programming? All right. Now Vinay is going really technically into this stuff. Why don't you pick it up?
So, linear programming, I'm not sure what you mean exactly here. You want to do linear programming with respect to the JavaScript container, or some heuristic rules to be applied?
Okay, I don't know if. Okay, so when I say is we can take it offline, so we'll let this one go right now for now. Right, I know it's already 8 o'clock. But just sort of ensure that we are sensitized enough towards the problem, right? Just like coronavirus, everybody feels they have it, we don't, right? People feel the same way for ad fraud as well, right? They have it, we don't, right? How do you educate brands, publishers, ad networks towards this problem? And Are there any numbers out there which should, caution us or alarm us today about ad fraud being a sizable or a significant problem that we must start planning to encounter?
Yeah, I see the numbers are available. Okay, so I'll take your question was in two parts. One was how to educate the people, and the second one was, is it a sizable problem? So the first one is, so the way we are educating is essentially through newsletters and taking a larger part of the audience who does not have fraud verification implemented. And we take cases by cases, and we essentially send the newsletter explaining the case that this is what can happen. This is what must be happening to you. And we have a few case studies where we have actually observed this, where the publisher was not willing to put a fraud verification tool. The moment we put that, you are able to see a 60% kind of a fraud, and you just think what is going wrong with you.
Wow, that's brutal, right? That's just
yes, brutal. And we have seen this in fairly large publishers in India. So this was a fairly. Now, sizable problem, the number estimated for only US was 15 billion. Globally, it was 45 billion. So it is also called as the biggest profit-making industry on the internet.
Wait, so you're saying $45 billion annually are wasted because of ad fraud? Is that right?
Yes, yes. So from the advertiser's pocket, say a global 300 billion is getting spent, and 45 billion is getting siphoned away to fraudulent scamsters, and they're taking that money away.
That is 1/3 of Google's revenue.
Yes.
Google's revenue is around $135 billion per year. And you're saying that 1/3 of that goes in ad fraud.
This is including programmatic, including Google, including all the entire ad spend. Not, not
no, I'm just sort of trying to put it in perspective, right? This sort of, if this were a company, this would be third largest in terms of ad revenues globally.
Yes. I mean, I think quite a few bots have got captured as a complete botnet, a meth bot, in which Google and FBI had to team up with White Ops to figure it out. Running over a couple of years, few millions of dollars. So a lot of money in this, in the black hat space.
Right. Awesome. This is interesting, right? So many amazing stories. Because in fact, I have actually, I did read that Wired article which spoke about when the FBI got involved along with Google to capture that specific botnet. I did read an article. It was a very interesting racket which was running in the background, right? Yeah. So Google, I'll sort of ensure that we mentioned the link at the bottom of the recorded video as well, right?
Okay,
Deep, thank you so much for that. That was really insightful, quick, and crisp. If you could turn on the video, we'll say goodbye to you, right? Guys, if you have any questions, this might be a good time to pitch in.
I think Venkat had a question. How is Botman helping advertisers tackle the cookie problem?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that. Yeah.
All right. So right now, in terms of the target customers we are focusing on the ad networks. So our customer base is predominantly ad networks right now who are in the middle of the buy and sell. So we are attacking certain types of fraud which they are facing. So as we have not yet diversified into the advertiser space with respect to specific fraud types, because each one of them is huge in itself. So as we are moving forward, Vivek, iZooto is there. Right now we have got, we are trying to decipher push notification frauds. So there is an ad network which has asked us very clearly that this is what he's facing in terms of 100 million, 200 million clicks they are kind of pushing through. How can we counter that? And there are certain patterns which have emerged from there which we are trying to tackle. For example, you have an impression of a push notification coming up, and then the click coming on the push notification. Typically, the average duration is 3 seconds, but there are some clicks on the push notification which happen in less than a second also.
All right. Okay. So
and
that's
multiple
really
clicks
fast.
are happening. So
that's really fast. Yeah.
No, that is not human. So
yeah, for sure.
So fraudsters are trying to misuse whatever is on your website. So they essentially are running your website in a WebKit or a container, and if your website has push notifications, if it has got anything, they are trying to misuse it. So that is why I said, I mean, it's important to monitor what kind of traffic you're getting. It's not only when you are buying traffic, it's also when you are putting up your infrastructure of your website also for basic organic use also.
Awesome. That was a very important point. The quality of traffic, the quality of your audience is the key, right? To sort of make this work for you and your customers who are eventually paying you dollars for this. Right. Thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate you doing this with us. Thanks.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.